Startup order is the reason most people find this tool. In this video, the 5 conditions you can wait on, how to pick between them, and how to see the graph you've actually built rather than the one you think you've built. Let's start with the thing we're trying to replace. Sleeping for a fixed number of seconds. It's in every start script I've ever inherited. The problem isn't that it's ugly, it's that the number is always wrong. Too short on a cold cache or a loaded CI runner, and it fails. Too long, and you pay for it on every single run for the rest of the project's life. The syntax is a depends on block. It's a map. Each key is another process name, and each value carries a condition. That's the whole shape. There are 5 conditions. Process started is the loosest. It means the process has been launched. Not that it's listening, not that it's initialized, just that it exists. Use it when the dependency is genuinely instant, or when you have retry logic on the other side. Process completed waits for the process to exit with any exit code at all. Process completed successfully waits for it to exit 0. The difference matters more than it looks. If you use the first one for a migration step, a failed migration still releases your API, and you get a confusing crash downstream instead of a clear failure at the source. For anything that has to succeed, use the second one. Process healthy is the one you want for services. It waits for the dependency's readiness probe to pass. This is the difference between the API being alive and the API being able to answer. There's a rule attached. The process you're waiting on has to actually define a readiness or liveness probe. If it doesn't, you get an error at load time rather than a dependency that silently never resolves. The 5th is process log ready, and it exists for a specific and very common annoyance. Services that only tell you they're ready by printing a line. Postgres does this. Plenty of application servers do this. You give the process a ready log line, and anything depending on it waits for that string to appear in its output. It's a substring match, not a regular expression. One catch worth knowing before you hit it. A ready log line and a readiness probe are mutually exclusive. You can't set both on the same process. If you do, it's rejected at load, which is better than the alternative but still surprising the first time. Here's the demo project's real chain. Migrate has to exit 0. Then the API starts, and it has a readiness probe on its health endpoint. The workers and the frontend both wait for the API to be healthy, not merely started. And the smoke test waits for the same thing, which is what makes it a smoke test rather than a race. Now, the graph you wrote is not always the graph you meant. Press Ctrl-Q in the terminal interface and you get the dependency tree live, with the current state and the condition on each edge. This is the fastest way to find the edge you forgot. The same graph is available from the command line without opening the interface, which is handy in a pull request or a README. And it will emit Mermaid so you can paste a current, accurate diagram straight into your documentation instead of maintaining a drawing that drifts. Once you have a graph, the obvious question is what's actually costing you time on startup. Analyze critical chain answers it. The @ sign is when a process became ready, and the plus is how long it took. Here the API is the whole story. For seconds of its own startup, and everything downstream is waiting on it. 2 more things. Circular dependencies are rejected at load time, so you can't accidentally build a deadlock. And if you only want part of the stack, you can name the processes you want. By default, that pulls in their dependencies too. Add no deps if you want just that process and nothing else, which is what you want when the database is already running from an earlier session. Finally, shutdown. By default, everything stops at once. If your processes care about the order they go down in, and database clients usually do, set ordered shutdown at the top level and it tears down in reverse dependency order. So, use completed successfully for one-shot steps, healthy for services, and log ready when a service will only talk to you through its output. Next video is about making healthy mean something, which is where health checks come in.